So, Don Boy, you know Daemon Targaryen, right? House of
Yeah.
the Dragon. Yeah. Do you get the vibe that he is the secret protagonist of the show, and they're kind of warping our minds a little bit to try to make it seem like he's the bad guy, sort of?
Yeah, well, on our channel, we've done a few shorts where it clear shows that, well, I think mostly just one, where Damon is clear the good guy in an
He's hilarious.
altercation with Otto. Yeah, his comedic timing is hilarious. And
Oh.
also, I will say, I want to defend Damon here, that you had to been there at the brothel to understand the joke, the air for a day. The timing, you had to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to be able to read the room and understand
Yes.
why things are funny. It's like, did you say it? It's like, okay, yes, I said it, but you don't understand you weren't there.
It was hilarious. It killed. Everyone was dying on the floor.
You got to feed the crowd, man.
People were more dead than your wife and kid, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give the crowd what they want. You got to read the room. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You can't kill the orgy vibe. It's just ridiculous. You know how unfun an orgy would actually be in real life? Seriously, it'd be horrible.
A bad joke is like the number one thing for like what, celibacy, or like what's a de-erector? You know, well, make you flaccid.
Yeah,
like,
it's an incel potion, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, I think this guy is actually a good guy, especially, dude, when you're talking about Hightower, that short that we posted, right? I watched this scene, and I think we're supposed to kind of get the vibe, like, I think it's trickery, okay? I think secretly it's trickery, but I think they're trying to give us the vibe that Damon's being an asshole to Hightower. I don't know what it is about Hightower. He just seems like a fucking snaky villain, dude. And I am Team Daemon 100% of the time. And everything we see of Daemon, like, actually, when push comes to shove, he does the right thing. I'll go into it, but what are you talking about?
I like Otto Hightower. He reminds me a little bit of Stannis mixed with Tywin. You know, it's like that more
kind of beta version, though.
I mean, like he's also kind of like, I guess, like a little bit like Littlefinger as well, where he had to claw his way to this position. He wasn't just the eldest son of this prestigious house, and I guess Stannis is the second born as well. But you know, Stannis is I don't know, the rightful heir, so he's kind of claiming
I just think his balls are little tiny shriveled up raisins compared to people like Stannis and Tywin. So that's the only reason really why.
Okay, well, it takes a lot of balls to pimp your daughter out to the king. So
okay, but if those balls are the size of peas and there's like 4, 5, 6, 8 of them, I don't even care how many you have. When they're that tiny, it doesn't amount to much.
What are the size of Daemon's balls, and does it like hurt him when he rides his dragon? Is there like some sort of device on his saddle that helps him from preventing, like, I don't know, chafe or just constant pain? Or are they calloused at this point?
I don't think if the callus would make it too much of a difference unless they callus up like as thick as dragons. Because I mean, okay, imagine if your scrotum sac was calloused. Doesn't matter.
Closing my eyes, I'm visualizing this. Keep going.
Unless, are you saying the testicles themselves are calloused?
You had a very Frank Costanza-like cadence there. Are you saying?
Are you saying? Honestly, are you saying that? Because if inside,
no, I'm just saying, like, if you're a dragon rider, do you just like all of a sudden callus up your nuts? Not the balls themselves, the scrotum.
The scrotum, I just don't see a purpose to it, honestly. You need it more malleable, because then at least, you know, if you have a saggier scrotum, you could kind of tuck it up between your legs so it's not smacking the bottom.
He tucks in during the ride?
Maybe. I mean, who's to say, right?
Is that what causes the smell for dragons as well? Or what's the smell of the dragons?
Well, they bring up the smell several times in the show. They bring it up. Well, how many times? 2 or 3 times? Doesn't matter. These Targaryens,
that's all they talk about.
Yeah, seriously, they're picking up whiffs of this dragon on what's that girl's name again?
No, you're thinking of
Rhaenyra.
Yep.
They're picking it up on her all the time, and I don't see a single person scoffing at it or being like, "Oh, disgusting," especially the king. Like, he said something to her. He's like, "Oh, you were fetching wine on Dragonback." Like a little bit of a wink almost, but in a fatherly approval way, not a creepy way. Either way, he loves the smell of that dragon. I think the dragons probably smell great.
Well, I don't think they smell bad, right? Hey, there's definitely not like
I think you legitimately have to say great, because if you go by just real life animals, like farm animals, the standard smell is bad.
It is bad.
Yeah. So to elicit a kind of a positive facial expression in response to the smell of an animal like a dragon, I think this thing has to smell legitimately good.
I'm sure in the books they tell us, and there might have been a throwaway line in Game of Thrones that they smell like, but for some reason I like to
watch back and maybe.
Yeah, let's do a total rewatch to figure this out.
Okay.
But I'm thinking it might be sulfur, and sulfur smells awful. So that's, I don't know why I thought of sulfur.
That doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't sound right. That's not a good thing. More like flowers or something like that. Listen, back on track here. Back on track.
Yeah.
Daemon Targaryen. can you name something that he's done that's actually bad? Think about what tasks he's been given. First of all, head of the King's Guard, or not the King's Guard, but the City Watch.
Super
right?
effective.
Super effective. Did those people commit those crimes that everybody was shouting that they committed at random? I would like to think so. And if so, I don't see. Okay, honestly, a murderer. A murderer. Do you have an issue with a murderer being executed? I really don't, to be honest.
No, but I guess I just like the execution, like he said, like the trial. He was like Judge Dredd out there, right?
Right.
Like, okay.
If they committed the crime.
Me and my brother don't look alike at all, but we sound alike. And if they're like, that guy sounds like the guy that raped my wife, and I was like, please, it wasn't me. It was my brother. And then there goes my dick and balls.
That wasn't the accusation.
My wife and kids.
That wasn't the accusation, was it? That it was, this person is a rapist. Not this person sounds like a rapist. This person sounds like the guy that raped. This guy is a rapist. So
we all know those people out there that are super confident without like any reason to be so, right? They're like, that guy's a rapist. Is what? I've never met you. Oh God, like.
All right, listen, your logic is sound, but I still reject it. Listen.
Well, I'm not, okay. Daemon is basically he might have put the bad people in charge of the gold cloaks, but I'm still on board. I like Daemon, and Matt Smith crushes this role too.
He actually does, and also too in that scene when we see him, hitting it from behind like a Chad, with that prostitute or whatever.
Oh, point for Daemon.
By the way, he ends up lifting out of poverty and trying to make his royal wife. Come on, good guy Daemon. Good guy Daemon. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. Anyway. Workers of the night, unite.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that sounded like right exactly the same as it did for me. But dude, no, in that scene when he's hitting it from the back, he looks great, dude. He's got a great physique actually for Matt Smith. If you look back to like fucking Doctor Who that he was in or some shit, he's a twink. And now he's a twunk.
He looks great in Morbius. I think you're forgetting this.
I barely remember Morbius, cats. That's blocked out. I liked that movie too much. I had to block it out of my brain. It would ruin other movies for me.
You couldn't get anything done. You were just thinking, it's Morbin time, baby.
Jesus Christ. But what else did he do? Oh, dude, at the jousting match at the tournament, he got bested by Kristen Cole. Sounds kind of like Cole Christian. Just saying. But anyway, he gets bested by this guy in combat and jousting. And what would anybody else do in his situation with his, level in society and whatnot? He'd betray him and kill him with no remorse, and the crowd would be too intimidated to, backlash against him. But he didn't. He decided to be a good guy, accept the help, and walk off the field disgruntled. That took some balls to do, I think, from somebody in his position.
Okay, even if I'm with you at this point, right? He then, which I guess, you know what? His joke, I don't hold that against him, right? The joke about the air for the day. It's kind of funny, I would hate for a joke to be. Yeah, we weren't there. You had to be there to experience it, to understand. But he steals a dragon's egg and goes to Dragonstone and like refuses the king's orders. He's like, go back to the Vale with your wife. He's like, no, I think I'm going to go to Dragonstone, steal one of your dragon eggs. And dude, fuck this Lady of the Night whore.
Would you go back to the Vale with your wife that you didn't even choose because your older brother told you to? Your older brother right now, Don Boy.
My older brother.
If your older brother decided a wife for you and said, you know what, you're going to go live in some fucking corner of the state, and you're going to live there when I tell you to live there. And no, guess what? This big treasure trove of dragon eggs that runs in our family, you can't have any until I say.
That's true. Yeah, that is very well. Listen, I understand Daemon's position here, but maybe I am warming up. Maybe he is the good guy. Is he the protagonist in all this, and everyone else is the antagonist for him to rise up and claim the throne here? And
also, listen, I don't mean to shit on Viserys because I actually do like him a lot or whatever, but you can't argue the realm is weak under Viserys, and he's a weak king. I wish he wasn't, but you just can't rule that way. And Daemon, I actually do think that maybe he'd be a harsh ruler or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that he's going to be this like cruel oppressor or whatever. I think he'd be really strict on crime like we see, but I have not actually seen any like Ramsay Bolton vibes from him. You know what I mean? Even like Rhaenyra and shit, or Rhaenyra, I should say. He's actually pretty like caring about her and gives back the egg when she comes and asks for it, even though there's a 0% chance that he could not kill her right there and then. Yeah.
Is her name Rhaenyra? Or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're still getting used to the names because they're all brand new to us right now. But yes. I totally agree. He's not a Ramsay Bolton. He's not Joffrey, right? He's like a step below that, but also has like, I'm trying to think of another he's kind of, you get Stannis vibes from him, right? Where he is the younger brother, but Stannis is way more like a Otto. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out where he
He's
exactly.
like maybe a Stannis mixed with like a Jaime Lannister almost.
Yeah, you get Jaime vibes off him a little bit here.
But there's no simping at all because Jaime simps for his sister or whatever. So it's like Jaime mixed with Stannis minus any simping at all. Because, dude, Stannis also a simp for the fucking Red Witch or whatever her name is, Melisandre. So, yeah, combine those two, subtract the simpage, and I think you got our guy, the protagonist of House of the Dragon, Daemon Targaryen.
Thank you. Our anime introduction for Daemon. But I will say, even though I agree with that assessment right there, is Daemon a little bit simping for his niece?
That is a good question. And, I rewatched this episode, or the first episode, I should say, with Eunice. And that first scene when we get an introduction to Daemon sitting on the Iron Throne and the niece walks in, there is like a weird aura about them.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a weird aura about them. And if they end up smashing in this show, I don't know what to think of it or what to make of it, but it is in the realm of possibility. I'm not even joking.
Yes, it is.
Don't do it, Daemon.
It is in the realm.
Yes, it is in the realm. And listen, those Targaryens love to fuck each other too. Did we talk about that? Was Viserys' wife, were they both like actual Targaryen blood? Like
Targaryen? No, they're not full-blooded. Viserys' wife is related to him. I forgot which way it is, but she is like part. I think her dad is Aaron, House Aaron from House Aaron, and her mom I think is Targaryen. Anyways, they're related somehow. So.
Yeah, well, whatever. Either way, I hear what you're saying, and I do think it's possible that they'll bone eventually, or at least he'll try to bone or whatever. And at that point, I got to reassess whether or not he's the protagonist, or maybe it won't matter at all. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm trying to convince my brother that we should make our houses even stronger by me and him having sex. So.
So it's just logic. It's just logic.
We'll see how that argument goes with them. Well, hey, let us know what you thought or what you think. Is Daemon the true protagonist in House of the Dragon? It should be called Smell of the Dragon because that's all they talking about in this. In
all the time. That's all, and it's all we care about as viewers. So
smash that like button, like what, Gator? Smash it like Daemon wants to smash his niece.
Yes, Daemon smashing his niece, like Daemon smashing the ladies of the night from behind, always. And let me just say,
coming because he is way too good for them.
Semen retention, dude. Increase your testosterone. And if he does smash his niece, I hope it's in the same manner.